Hey everyone, Church of SCFU. Today I'm not going to do much talking, I just want to share a documentary with you, which I believe is relevant to the recent discussion on how to deal with Islam and radical Islam and so on and so forth. The documentary is called Real Bad Arabs, and it deals with the portrayal of people of Arab ethnicity over the last 100 years in Hollywood. And I think it is fair enough to say that Arab kind of ethnicity and those stereotypes are usually conflated with Muslim stereotypes in general. So it actually is very kind of relevant to the discussion on how to have this debate with Islam from an atheist perspective. And I'm going to have a little clip after I finish talking, and please watch that. And if you like it, it's an excellent documentary, then please watch the whole thing on Google Video. I'll link it in the underbar. But when you're doing it, then please just try to put yourself into the shoes of someone of Arab ethnicity. Just think of a world in which you're in the minority, in a tiny minority. For example, in the case of the US, there are not many Muslims in the US. Think that you're in that tiny minority, and that is how the majority is representing you. That is their image of you, and that is the image that they're portraying of you. Think of how it would feel to go to the movies and again be confronted with these stereotypes. And yes, of course, people can grow thick skins, and they can try not to take it personally. But just consider whether perhaps these things may accumulate. In my opinion, Draw Muhammad Day, burning the Quran here and there, as isolated incidents, they're not the problem. The problem is that they're drops in a bucket that has been filling for more than 100 years, ever since Europe first came into conflict with Islam, and we've decided to start portraying Muslims and Arabs in a certain way. Without further ado, please enjoy these little clips, and please do watch the documentary.
When we think of Arabs, what do we see? What images come to mind? Do we see actual people? People who, despite real cultural or geographical differences, do pretty much the same things that we do. When we think of Arab women, what images come to mind? Do we see women who laugh and play and who adore their children? Women who work in the home as well as outside? Would it come as a surprise to know that in many Arab countries, a majority of college students are actually women? What's our immediate image of Arab men? Do we see loving fathers? Men who want to provide for their families? What about Arab teenagers? Do we see them the way you would think about teenagers in other parts of the world? Then there's religion in the Arab world. Do we see it as all-encompassing, dominating everything else? Do we know that even though faith plays a huge role in the Arab world, just as it does here in the United States, that it's also true that much of the Arab world is quite secular? When we think of Arabs and religion, does Christianity come to mind? Do we remember that there are over 20 million Christians in the region who have lived side by side in harmony with Muslims for centuries?
My name really is Ahmed, and I can't fly anywhere. All you white people have it easy. You guys get to the airport like an hour, 2 hours before your flight. It takes me a month and a half. Security's gotten so bad now I just show up to the airport in a G-string. I'm like, how you guys doing? The character I read for was terrorist number 4. Not number 1, not number 2, number 4. And I was already well into my comedy career at this point, so I didn't take it that serious. And I read my lines way over the top. And, you know, it's like, sit down, you will obey, or I'll kill you in the name of Allah, you know, stuff like that. And the director went nuts, and he was like, that was brilliant, Ahmad. Let me see you do it again, but this time with more, you know, Arab, you know how your people are very, you know, he's trying to say that we're angry, and I was just like, okay, angry, is that what you want? Yes, yes. So I did it one more time, and I got a call the next morning that they want to use me in this movie. And I started laughing on the phone because I wasn't even, like, I was making fun of the role. I wasn't trying to be like that. And that's what they want, though.
And once we begin to humanize Arabs and Muslims, to project them as we project other people, no better, no worse, then the stereotype gradually diminishes.